So, Peter, how significant is this downgrade from S&P for Greece? Are we giving these rating agencies too much airtime here, or is this really a sign that the situation is getting worse?
I think we may be giving them a little bit too much airtime, and I think at the end of the day, Greece isn't accessing the market for funding, so the actual spread that's being charged on Greek interest rates isn't really of any great significance. I mean, I think the key question is, how are these negotiations going to play out? Is it the case that the IMF will stump up the money and that a package will be agreed to? And personally, I think the market is placing much too high a probability on this possibility that Greece will default imminently. I mean, policymakers aren't going to let Greece default. It's completely fanciful to think this is going to happen. I mean, the IMF at the moment they have a policy that they need to see 12 months of clear funding arrangements in place before they'll even release the next tranche of money. So there's a linkage between the next tranche that the IMF are going to provide and the second bailout package for Greece. So I think what happens at the June Council meeting is intimately linked up with the IMF rolling over, providing the next tranche.
So, Peter,
but I think this will.
You are optimistic. You don't think they're going to let Greece default, but what will the components of this package be? Will there be some sort of rolling over of debt, voluntarily or otherwise?
I think there will be. I mean, let's be clear. Rolling over the debt doesn't fundamentally change Greece's solvency issue. It basically kicks the problem down the road. It provides more time, and that's often used as a big criticism of the policy response. I think that slightly misunderstands the situation, because the real problem is that's exactly what Greece needs. It needs time to sort out the mess in its public finances, to get its structural reform, privatisations going, and so that's really what is needed. And increasingly, we're seeing the debt of Greece being taken on by the official sector. And so increasingly, by the end of next year, half of the debt is going to be held by the official sector.
But, Peter, you say in your notes, which I'm just reading here, that you think that in a year from now, we could end up in the same situation with another funding gap for Greece.
Well, no, the package that's going to be put in place now, I think, will have to cover Greece through 2013, maybe into 2014. So that'll be something like a 60 billion package, and then we'll see what happens at that point. But yeah, I think the authorities are in it for the long haul for Greece. This is not something that's going to resolve itself quickly. We may end up with a situation. Yeah, go on.
What about Greece's ability to implement this? We know that the government is under a lot of pressure there, and it may fall.
No, I don't think that's... I mean, remember, what the EU and the IMF are pressuring the Greek politicians to do is to come up with some sort of grand coalition where the opposition and the government are putting some package together to support it. I think they will still get that through the Parliament. I don't think that's going to fall. I think it's a fallacy to think that there's a strong anti-austerity party in Greece at the moment. I think everybody's basically in agreement that they've got to get this policy through. They've got to get it done. The trouble is, it's not in the opposition's interests to support the government, which is why they're not going along with this coalition idea. But I think in the end, they'll have to put these policies through.